We've got a lot of things to watch out for as we're going into this new year, and I strongly recommend that everybody be prepared. There's one other thing which is looming on the news, and that is Planet X, or the Nibiru system, and there seems to be more evidence that this thing actually exists. And I'm not saying hearsay, I'm saying evidence. And that is something that we need to be prepared for. However, while it's going to give Earth a hard time, it's not going to destroy the planet. It will destroy the way that we live. It will change a lot. But the one thing that all it has to do is cause an EMP, and it most likely is going to do that, and it will put out all electricity on Earth indefinitely. According to a government study that was done, I believe, in 2011 or 2010, they concluded that if the electric grid were down in the United States for 2 years, 90% of the population of America would be dead. So, sobering thoughts. This was a government study. It's not not mine. The whole thing with chemtrails and global warming. It's not it's not carbon emissions that's causing global warming. The chemtrails are mostly barium and aluminum. I'm sure they spray a lot of other garbage up there. But barium is actually an ingredient used in jet fuel. So every jet that takes off out of every airport, whether it's loaded with passengers, cargo, or anything else, has barium in the fuel. Barium is a reflective metal. And so they spray both aluminum and barium into the stratosphere in order to block the sun's rays from hitting the ground. There was a study that was done where they were examining Delhi, India, which is one of the most polluted places on Earth. And they were examining how much of the sun's rays were hitting the ground in Delhi as opposed to one of the most pristine places, the Seychelles Islands. And there was almost a 30% less amount of sun hitting Delhi than there was in the Seychelles Islands. So without the chemtrails, this planet would be burning up. There's an extreme amount of desertification that's going on now. The deserts keep on creeping further and further in. There's droughts all over the place. And the chemtrails are helping reflect the sun's heat back out. So what is perturbing the sun? What's getting the sun all upset, which is causing it to burn more intensely, creating more heat on Earth? See, it's not the carbon emissions, because carbon emissions block the sun's rays. It's the sun itself. There's one other thing which is very showing, and that's the Schumann resonance of Earth. The Schumann resonance of Earth used to beat at 7.8 cycles per second. If we are in deeper meditation, our brains will cycle at 7.8 hertz per second. Actually, it varies. But that is the theta level of our thinking capability. When we're sleeping, we sleep in theta. However, the Schumann resonance of the Earth has gone up to between 11 and 13 cycles per second. For a human, that is the state of beta. In beta is where the fight and flight response is. It's where fear lives. And so the Earth is beating at a fearsome rate compared to what it was. Why is that? What's increased the Schumann resonance of Earth? What controls the Schumann resonance of Earth is lightning storms, which are generated by solar storms, and the sun itself. So though the sun and lightning are two things which keep the Earth beating, but now it's beating faster. And the sun is the main factor again. There's also times that it spikes up to over 60 hertz per second. That could be caused by CERN, the largest electromagnet on the planet. When that goes up, when they are running CERN, the Hadron Collider at CERN, it could actually be changing the Schumann resonance of Earth, and most likely is. Now, there's one thing that goes along. You know what happens when the Schumann resonance of Earth speeds up? Time becomes shorter. There was a German physicist that calculated because of the increase of the Schumann resonance of Earth, our days have gone from a 24-hour day to a 16-hour day. Interesting. Another biblical prophecy fulfilled. That time would be things would be speeded up in the last days. It also says, don't be saying, when's it going to come? It's not showing. It's delaying. Because we're watching a calendar go by and we're caught in a time warp. So what seems to be taking longer isn't taking longer because we are moving 2/3 faster than what we, or actually, we're moving 2/3 faster than what we were. And what causes that to happen? Things that affect time. The very vibration of Earth we know affects time. Also mass. Mass in space affects time. And Einstein proved this. So we have something massive headed this way, which is affecting our solar system, not just planet Earth. Interesting, we could start to see the evidence of this almost 20 years ago. In 1998 to 1999, there was a major increase in earthquakes of magnitude 5 and above. The increase was actually 500% over what was recorded for the previous 100 years. And people say, oh, well, we didn't record earthquakes that well back then. Wait a minute. Go look at the graph. You can find it online. Go to Google Images and type it in. I'm sure you'll find it. And you see this pretty much flat graph that comes all the way up to 1998, and then all of a sudden it spikes up, and it's been up ever since. Also, earthquakes don't come in one or two rumbles. They come in clusters. Anybody read the news about what was going on in California? Again, a tremendous amount of low-level earthquakes in Southern California. It's happened several times over the past years. There are places on Earth that just shake all the time. Puerto Rico is one of them. Never gets reported, but they've got 2 or 3 earthquakes going off in Puerto Rico every day. So we've got a lot of things that we have on our plate to watch out for this year. Be prepared for change. Make sure you've got extra food, extra water, extra supplies, because you may have to go without before too long. It's better to be prepared than to be taken advantage of. And we know these things are coming. So stay sharp, stay alert. Read Letters to Earth. The future is yours. There's a fantastic amount of information in that book, which is very applicable to what we're facing today. It explains it all. There's 35 years of research in there. You can find it at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or you can go to my website, www.peterkling.com, and get yourself a copy of it. It explains a lot of what we're facing here. And with that, I'm going to say love and blessings to all. Remember, the future is yours.